So you want to look like a ballet dancer. What are the wardrobe essentials that you will need to look like your ballet dancer without really being an actual ballet dancer? These are the questions nobody ever wants to know, that everybody wants to know. Maybe some of you want to know. Okay, maybe like 1% of you want to know. I certainly want to know. I want to know what it's like to be a ballet dancer. Here we go. My name is Teresa, and this is Balletcore. Above everything, Balletcore is a feminine core. You want to look feminine, graceful, athletic, a ballet dancer without actually being a ballet dancer because you missed your boat. You missed your boat to join the company. So what do you need? You need some leotards. Your leotards in black, in pale pink, and nude. A nude leotard, I get the scandals you will cause in suburbia. You need something in pastels, a tea-length dress. It is not yet a tutu. It is a very feminine looking dress. You pair it with your ballet flats, and there you go. That ought to get you going in the morning. I don't know much about ballet, and I've never actually sat through a ballet performance. I can name off a few ballets: the Nutcracker, Swan Lake, because I've seen Black Swan, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Romeo and Juliet, having no knowledge of a particular art form. And I just name off things I've seen. Once I did an interview for like a cooking school. It wasn't to be a chef, it was just to be an admin. The head chef asked me, "What do you know about cooking?" I didn't know anything about cooking, but I just started naming off all the cooking shows I've ever seen. Iron Chef, Master Chef, Cooking with Giadia, Rachel Ray's 40-minute meals. Suffice to say, I didn't get the job. Naming off all the cooking shows you've ever seen does not bode well for confidence in your intelligence. So don't do what I do. You need a buttoned blouse. Femininity. Okay, I don't know why I did it like Mrs. Doubtfire. Femininity is what we're after. You need a button blouse, a nice breezy white button blouse with Peter Pan collars, maybe with swans on the collar. And you know what is the cincher? If you had some kind of pastel button-down blouse with buttons at the back collar, the back buttons. It's the little details, you know, the little details that make up the core in Balletcore. Because the thing is, Balletcore in itself is very simple. You don't see ballerinas wearing very bedazzled clothing. You don't see them rocking juicy sweatsuits or whatever. They like simplicity, femininity, and simplicity. Solid colors, maybe a print or two. They could probably get away with a cheetah print, but that's very scandalous. So not a lot of prints, just a lot of solid colors. The little details is where you individualize yourself. Back buttons, a deeper scoop neck. The leotards lend themselves very well to a deeply scooped neck and also a back scoop, the back scoop to show off your shoulder blades, your very chiseled shoulder blades from your dancing. It also very much shows off how skinny you are, what a perfect size 00 you can be. That is one of the criticisms with ballerina aesthetic. It glamorizes thinness, and we all know about Black Swan, very unhealthy eating choices, obsessive exercising to get that perfect form so that you can be the lead in a ballet in Swan Lake. This aesthetic is for those of you who've always wanted to be ballerinas but missed the boat because your parents didn't enroll you in dance school, just like me. My dad used to own a tropical fish store in a mini mall next to a dance studio, and I would always peek my head in, watch my peers dance. I don't know if they did ballet, but they certainly had a lot of mirrors and a bar. So I'm guessing there was some ballet involved, but mostly it was kind of like a jazz ballet thing. It was like jazz hands, some tap dancing. The dance instructor, he had brilliant red hair, kind of like David Caruso and Jade. Red hair, mullet. He wore very tight pants, bell bottoms, a Lord of the Dance style pant. He loved his job. He worked with his mother. He had a lot of little students. And then one day he saw me with my little head poking in through the door. He turned around. You know, he's a dancer. He moves very fast. He had very quick karate-esque reflexes. He said, do you want to come in and join? Having been caught spying, I ran away. I ran back to my father's tropical fish store. The man, I won't say his name because I don't really remember his name. He frequents the fish shop as well. He likes to buy some some guppies, some fish food. I was very scared of him. I think it's the red hair. I think I was very terrified of redheads. So whenever he came in, I would just like hide behind the desk, hide and stare at him in fright and fascination. He would look at me and he'd go, "Hey, it's you. Do you want to join my dance class?" And then he would ask my dad, "Do you want to sign her up for dance class? She's obviously very interested." And my dad said no, because he didn't like the looks of this guy. He's basically like Liam Neeson in Taken, always thinking like, oh no, if my daughter went off on vacation, she'll be taken. To make a long story short, my dad declined to sign me up for dance classes. And it's a good thing too. A couple months later, this dance studio was raided by the police. The instructor was, he was in trouble. Let's just say he was in trouble for getting a little too touchy. And then they had to close down the studio, and I don't know what it became afterward. I think it became like a water drinking store. So that's a dark start, as always, to a very light topic. Although I've heard that Balletcore has its dark side as well. The glamorization of perfection, of toxic levels of exercise, putting thinness on a pedestal, therefore leading to an ED. Everything that was going on in Black Swan, lots of darkness. But in any event, Balletcore, a internet aesthetic celebrating gracefulness, femininity, pictures of athletic dancers leaping up into the air, the pointed toe, the back muscles, shoulder blades, blazing, a great fantasy for those of you who always want to be dancers but couldn't because you missed the boat, or for those of you who do not fit within that teeny tiny ballet dancer frame, normal size, plus size, those with jiggly arms like me, those of us who do not look like ballet dancers. It's a great way to fantasize that you are one. You need a wrapped sweater. It's a very pivotal item in this Balletcore wardrobe. You can wear them with jeans. So long as you have a wrapped sweater, then you're already like 75% of the way there. And actually, I mentioned that I never participate. I do want to participate in this. I want a wrapped sweater, but I'm very particular about the wrapped sweater that I want to get. I want to make sure it's very minimal. I don't want any like stupid little bows on it. They are surprisingly hard to find. So I'm looking for a blouse, possibly ribbed. Just want a plain, solid, black, pink, any color is fine. I found one on Big Bug Press. Thinking about getting it. It's pretty pricey. That's why I haven't gotten it yet. I'm thinking about it. If I'm going to spend this much on a wrapped blouse, then I need to make sure that I get my money's worth and make sure that it pairs with everything in my wardrobe, and I will outfit repeat like you would never believe. I'm gonna wear it until it becomes a skimpy piece of thread. We got bodysuits. I've worn a bodysuit exactly once in my life. When I was 10, I owned 2 bodysuits, and they were very uncomfortable. They tugged at my crotch. Though I do appreciate that they have snaps at the joining area. Same reason why I don't wear rompers is because I constantly have to pee. There's no way I'm getting myself in anything that I have to like strip out of. So bodysuits with the little snaps at the crotchal area, I guess that's appreciated. I don't know, it just seems very uncomfortable. That's the funny thing about ballerinas. It's like they're at once very comfortable looking, but at the same time very uncomfortable looking. You know, all that spandex, the tutus, it's just very binding. At the same time, they have to dance in it. It does allow ease of movement. Femininity and gracefulness, elegance is the name of the game. So that's why you have your halter top, your loose shift dress. This list of Balletcore essentials also states that you need a corset top, probably to pretend that you are the lead in Swan Lake. Ruffles on ruffles, and stirrup leggings. Stirrup leggings from the 80s, from the 90s. Oh boy, did I own a lot of stirrup pants back in the day. Goes in with those leggings. You can dance in them. Dancing is what we like to do. We can't dance, but we like to look like we can dance. You see what I'm getting at here? That's the essence of Balletcore. You want to be hyper feminine, very elegant. You're Audrey freaking Hepburn. And the other wardrobe accoutrements that go with being perceived as a ballerina, you've got your tulle skirt. Think Carrie Bradshaw at the beginning of Sex and the City. For a more updated version, you might want to go for the Lauren Conrad midi skirt, a slip dress. You can embody the look of a effortless Parisian dancer off duty. You're sick of these leotards, you're sick of of these bodysuits, strip it all off, and at night, you slip on a slip dress. You pull your hair back, slick it all the way back, and everybody knows you're a ballet dancer, apparently. And to go along with your wrap sweater, you need a shrug in case your delicate, slender shoulders and your very defined collarbone gets cold. For your silhouette, think romantic. You can either go full ballerina and wear a short tutu skirt, or you can get a little bit more flowy with a pleated midi skirt, or you can dress up your leotard with some flowy linen palazzo pants. Your ballerina, what are you doing with those bare legs? You gotta put on some tights, some nude tights, some pink tights, little girl white tights. And you gotta have your ballet flats. That's a given, the ballet flats. Preferably you get those Chanel two-tone ballet flat. Those are very classy looking. Or just a plain black pair. You don't wanna get too wild. You don't wanna go back to the thrift store and buy those 2013 Aztec chevron print ballet flats. You don't wanna do that. Keep it neutral. As a Balletcore aficionado, you gotta have some kind of a veil, maybe a flower crown, a veil of some kind of headpiece, you know, like the ballet dancers love a good sequence headpiece, maybe with feathers. I'm thinking about Natalie Portman's headpiece in Black Swan. That's the only image that comes to my mind, being completely ignorant in the world of ballet. As a downgrade to the headpiece, a headband would work. The fabric headbands that do double duty by keeping your baby hairs out of your face, but also mopping up your brow sweat. A sheer shawl. Of course, you want leg warmers. A ballet dancer, you are not without your leg warmers. And then maybe you can break out into a flash dance. As for accessories, I'm thinking something delicate, dainty. You know, you don't want your big, bold bubble necklaces or anything, or a big chunky chain. You want like a delicate gold necklace, dinky little charms, hair clips. I'm thinking something with a pearl on it. Now that we've covered the wardrobe essentials, what kind of activities would you do in your Balletcore lifestyle? Well, I guess the gist of it is to look like you are a dancer, but you're really not a dancer, but maybe you are a dancer, you're just not a professional dancer. You go to the gym with your wrap sweater, maybe some leg warmers, and then do ballet-esque dancer-like exercises, the kind that requires a lot of squatting, a lot of first positions, a lot of pointing of one's toes. That's what you can do. So you're not a ballet dancer, but you can definitely pretend that you are one, just like I've always wanted to pretend that I was a reporter. Nothing's gonna stop you. You don't know what you're doing, just do it anyways. Unless you're a doctor. You're not hurting anybody with your ballet dances. Maybe you are. You can watch a lot of movies about ballet, you can pick up some terminology and just throw it out in everyday conversation. How about that first position? That's something, right? I prefer second position myself. That gets me going in the morning. That almost gets you halfway there. If your friends work in an office, they will think that you were a ballet dancer. Study up on the lifestyle and regurgitate as need be, and then you will instantly become an expert. One thing I suggest to really look like a ballet dancer when you're not a ballet dancer, you can put on all the essentials that we went over of Balletcore. You know, you got your wrap sweater, you got your leotard, your leg warmers. Maybe you're gonna go full ballet and wear a tutu. Nobody was gonna doubt you. If you walk out on the street to a public park, people will think that you are a ballet dancer because you're dressed like a ballet dancer. And then you can go to a park in front of everybody if you want to be seen, and then you could do some stretches. Prop your leg up on the jungle gym and start stretching. People will think ballet dancer. If you can get your leg up on the bars, and if you have like a nice straight leg, I don't. My legs are weird. For some reason, I can't make them very straight, like they kind of curve inwards. But in any event, if you're in your ballet shoes, and just prop your leg up on the jungle gym or a park bench and start stretching, but be graceful about it. Plug in your AirPods and listen to some ballet music. Listen to Swan Lake, Romeo and Juliet. Tchaikovsky, I believe he wrote one of those two. Do a little of this, a little of this. That's ballet right there. You know what also fascinates me about ballet dancers? How they're able to get their hair so neatly organized. I've never had really neat hair. I have all these baby hairs. I don't know what to do with them. And this is like after mousse, by the way. Without mousse, it's like I've been electrocuted. I'm always very envious how ballet dancers are able to get their hair so nicely slicked back into one of those buns, the ballet bun, because I've never been able to get my my hair in a neat bun. It's always like a messy bun. And not like a cool messy bun, but like a messy bun that makes me look like I'm crazed. The Balletcore aesthetic, it's a very pretty aesthetic. How can it not be? How can you say ballet dancers are not pretty? And I am in the market for a wrapped blouse. It's a banal piece of information that I would just like to relay. You know, there's obviously bigger issues in my life, like surviving as a millennial, hopefully one day not ending up homeless, in which case, why would I want to dress like a ballet dancer at all? Why would I want to stretch on that park bench when I need to sleep on it? Aesthetics are fun, aren't they? They take your mind away from pressing problems we have in this world. We can all cherish a little bit of fantasy and escape. So that's all I have for you today. And if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do me a favor and subscribe, because the more the merrier. Good night and good luck.